Can somebody please explain to me how the Eagles always get injured? How is it only our teams? It's every sport. The Eagles are the most banged up team I have ever laid eyes on, and I watch the Sixers. I watch the Sixers every year. How are we so injured? The whole city. Our bullpen can't stay healthy. The Eagles can't stay healthy. Joel can't. Ben can't. Markel left because of injuries. Or got traded because of injuries. We're missing defensemen. Carter Hart gets injured right before the playoffs. Not that he didn't play, but he still was injured. How is it possible that only Philadelphia is going through this? How? Somebody explain that to me. What is going wrong? What is going wrong in this city? The fact that every single team goes through these injuries. And it's not like, oh, it's like day-to-day type of injuries. Nope. It's weeks. Ertz is out 3 to 4 weeks. Luckily, we have a bye week in one of them. But still, really? Sanders out 1 to 2 weeks. How? What did he even do? I didn't even see how he got hurt. It's every team. There's something wrong. There's something in the water here that is just seriously wrong. Because there's no reason why every star Philadelphia athlete is getting injured as much as these guys are. And then just completely ignoring it. I don't get it. Look how banged up the Eagles are. The fact that we only had... At one point in the game yesterday, we had 2 starters on offense. Kelsey and Wentz. 2 of them. How is that even possible? How? I don't understand. I've never seen a city this injury prone before. I've never seen it. Ever in my life. It's just unnormal. It's not normal. It actually makes no sense to me. How we are just this banged up. Every year. It's been every year since Wentz got hurt. It's been every year. I mean, honestly, I don't get it. Deshaun is hurt every game. Alshon hasn't played in a year. And now you have Sanders hurt. You have more than half of the offensive line hurt. Let's see what else. You have your cornerback 2 hurt. You don't have linebackers anyway, so that you can't really say that they're hurt. But Malik Jackson goes out with an injury yesterday. Let's see what else. Kavon Wallace went out with an injury yesterday. It's the whole team, man. The entirety of this Eagles team is injured. They played a guy that I didn't even know was on the roster. Jason Kroom caught a touchdown. Who even is that? Who? Didn't even know he was there. I know the 53-man roster like the back of my hand, and I don't know where that guy snuck in at because I've never seen his name before on any of the lists. Any of them. But all of a sudden he catches a touchdown? Really? Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. Now, I was going to make this video regardless, before, now I was really going to because of the injuries. But I was going to talk about the Eagles, after the fact anyways. Like, after the game, the calm down thoughts. But this is just ridiculous. It's every game we're losing piece after piece. And I guarantee you, on Thursday, if Wentz has a bad throw or something, automatically goes to Carson. I guarantee it. It's ridiculous. Stop blaming Wentz, please, guys. It's ridiculous. Do you see what he is working with right now? No line, no receivers. His running back 1 is now injured. His tight end, his number 1 target is now injured. What more do you want the guy to do? You want him to throw it to himself for 50 yards? Because that's what you make it seem like every single game. Every pass cannot be perfect when he's getting hit on every single one of them. It can't. It's not possible. Why does Carson Wentz have to be the guy that is perfect every single game? Why is it that only Carson has to be perfect? Explain that to me. Because it makes no sense. No sense at all. It's mind-blowing how everything just falls on Carson Wentz. The minute he throws a bad pass, put in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Newsflash, people. Jalen Hurts was a bad pick in a bad spot. He's a good player, but a bad pick for this Eagles team. And that is all on Howie Roseman. And look what else Howie Roseman's done with this team. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, trash. No linebackers, garbage. Giving extra money to a 38-year-old Jason Peters instead of getting a wide receiver or a linebacker. Trash decision. Who hired Doug Pederson? He was a part of that, and now they're best friends. And guess what? Doug Pederson can't even coach a game to save his life anymore. He hasn't coached a 4-quarter game since the Super Bowl. It is mind-blowing. We are 20-20-1 since the Super Bowl. We are 500 since the Super Bowl. And everything just goes on Carson Wentz. Do you see what he was working with last year? Do you see what he's working with right now? We're 6 weeks into the season, and we have major injury concerns. We have major injury concerns coming into week 1. We had guys banged up. Brandon Brooks tore his ACL or his Achilles 3 weeks before the season even started. And you expect Carson Wentz to do everything perfect? It's ridiculous. And this is a perfect example. All day yesterday, watching that Bucs-Packers game, what did Rodgers not have? He didn't have a healthy offensive line. He looked horrendous out there. 3 interceptions. 1 was returned for a pick 6. He looked garbage. And you know why? Because David Bakhtiari got hurt, and his O-line, other than just him, was all banged up. You cannot win a football. You cannot be a perfect football player and expect to beat good teams when your offensive line, the people that are supposed to be blocking for you, are just straight out not blocking for you. Jamon Brown is awful. Awful. He made Calais Campbell look like Reggie White out there yesterday. He had him pushing with both hands, left and right. He just had them looking like fools. And it was on Jamon Brown. And for those of you that don't know, because I doubt you do, he was number 66. You know, the guy that got like 3 penalties. You know, that's the guy that subtracted like 15 yards from the offense. But, you know, he also tackled Wentz. I just want to point that out. He was also in the way of Carson and basically tackled him. And that's who we have blocking for this guy. And this is on Carson Wentz. That 2-point conversion was on Carson Wentz. What about the first 2-point conversion when he wasn't even out there? Was that on Carson Wentz too? Because this is getting ridiculous. Everything is on Carson. Everything. You're blaming the wrong guys here. Is it partly Carson's fault? Yes, it is. He has not been perfect, but when you look at it, how can he be perfect? He has nobody to throw the ball to, and his offensive line is a JV squad. My high school team could block better than these guys are. It's awful. And you are blaming the wrong guy. How is it that Doug Pederson now has cost us at least 2 wins? At least the very minimum 2 games. When it could be easily more because he just continues to abandon the run in the second half. It blows my mind. How do you have Miles Sanders that can break one like this? And he's done it the last 2 weeks now. And now he's out for 1 to 2 weeks. But how do you have a guy like Miles Sanders that can break a 70-yard run at any moment in the game? How do you abandon the run? It blows my mind, guys. Like, this team is horrible. We play the Giants on Thursday night. Do not be surprised if we lose. Because I will 100% not be. And I guarantee you, if we lose, it will be blamed on Carson Wentz, no matter how he plays. Nobody is playing good with that offensive line. Nobody. And those receivers. You put a guy like Mike Thomas or DeAndre Hopkins in this offense, and he's still missing passes, still missing targets to them, then we have another story. But when you have a guy like Jason Kroom, who nobody heard of, and Travis Fulgham, who nobody heard of, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who can only block downfield, his receivers can't catch in Hightower, his running back dropped a wide open pass in the end zone, and yet people are still blaming him because they're saying he put it in the wrong spot. How, guys? How? Somebody explain how he put it in the wrong spot when it hit him in the hands. Anybody is catching that ball. Anybody. And yet our receivers just continue to drop. They continue to suck on their routes, and they just fail. They just fail. And every single little bit of blame has been put on the wrong guy. When you have a guy like Howie Roseman, who has done nothing in this city to deserve the respect that he has gotten. Yes, he won a Super Bowl. Congratulations. What has he done since? He constructed a great team, and he has done nothing but fail in the draft. Year after year after year after year. Every draft is a failed draft. Every single draft. He has not hit on one player in last year's draft. Rager's hurt, and that's not his fault. But look at the other guys that he drafted. He let one of them, Casey Toohill, go. He let him go. And guess where he's at? Washington. You draft a guy in Davian Taylor who could be good, but played less varsity minutes than I did my high school year. My high school years, I played more football games than he did, and I played 2 years. He played 1.5 games. I played 3. I wasn't a good football player. I wasn't. I joined late. I joined my senior year. What can I say? Who cares? But why are we drafting him in the 3rd round? Why? And then you look at around the league. CeeDee Lamb, great receiver. Henry Ruggs has had some injury problems, but probably will be a great receiver. Jerry Jeudy, solid receiver so far. Look at the guy that we actually could have drafted with our own pick instead of moving up or anything. And Justin Jefferson. He's probably the best out of all 4 of them right now. And you guys are blaming Carson. Put in Jalen. Jalen Hurts would get smoked behind this offensive line. Smoked. And if you guys don't think that, then there is seriously something wrong with the fandom in this city. Because Carson Wentz continues to prove time and time again that he is the franchise quarterback. Time and time again. And as soon as he makes a mistake, it's put in Jalen. We want Foles. Give it up. Because they ain't playing. Nick Foles is gone. Leave it alone. He ain't coming back. He'll probably sign a 1-day contract at the end of his career. But other than that, he ain't coming back. And Jalen Hurts is not ready yet. He is not NFL ready. If he was that ready, he would have gone earlier in the draft. Because I'm sure there's teams that could have used some backup quarterbacks. Look at the Colts. They don't have a quarterback. They drafted one in the 4th round. They didn't even take Jalen Hurts. And they had 2 picks before him. It goes to show just how mind-blowing this is. That people just constantly blame Carson. Stop. Because it is the wrong narrative. You guys are living in a fantasy dream where these quarterbacks should be perfect. And I'm not talking to every Eagles fan here, but I'm talking to the guys on the radio. It just blows my mind. This isn't to anybody in particular, but this is literally just to anybody that thinks Jalen Hurts is better than Carson Wentz. You are absolutely wrong. Because he would get smoked behind this offensive line. He would not hit one of those receivers in stride off his back foot. He would not. So give it up. Because it ain't happening. It's not. I'm tired of it. This team has been killing me all year long. I've gotten to the point where I've literally snapped. I just snapped for 15 minutes. Injuries, the blame on Carson, not blaming Doug, not blaming Howie. It's gotten ridiculous. So let's give it up, guys. Seriously. If the Eagles lose on Thursday, tank. Just tank. Tank for a lineman, tank for a linebacker, tank for something. Because it ain't it. With that being said, sorry for the rant, but it needed to get out there. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you are new to the channel, I would appreciate it if you did hit that subscribe button on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all for watching, and I'm out. Peace.